Can you buy an already successful blog website? Obviously, the easiest way to buy your way to success is just to purchase an established website. That way you will get the content, you will get the business, and you can build from there. But this is not recommended. Firstly, you will pay way over the odds for that content and for the traffic that it drives. Secondly, unless you plan on creating the exact same website, in which case you won't need to make any changes, then that content could drop off and you will have a lot of work to do to convince Google to keep trusting you when you change over. It is a good idea, however, to purchase the domain of a successful website. If a name is a relevant keyword, and if that domain ranks highly, then that's all you need. The content doesn't matter. The website doesn't matter. It's all about the domain. In fact, that's exactly what happened with How to Start a Blog. This is a premium domain, because How to Start a Blog is a premium keyword. It's existed for years, just like many other big keyword domains, and we're not the only owners. In fact, How to Start a Blog has probably had dozens of owners over the last couple of decades. It worked for them, and it's working for us. In many cases, premium domains will be sold based entirely on their SEO value, with the owner paying no heed to the website that is attached to it. If you want to buy your way to success, then this is what you should focus on. Some domains won't be attached to websites at all. In fact, many high-quality domains that are listed for sale simply point to domain auction pages. You will pay a lot of money for these, but they will be worth it. Your URL will play a huge role in your Google rankings, so by purchasing a big domain that is your keyword, you're getting off to a great start. The easiest way to buy your way to success is just to purchase an established website. There are also other ways that your money can help you. Endless content. Good content, and plenty of it, is what most successful sites are built upon. Most bloggers work alone, and because they're not professional writers, they produce very little content. As a result, the majority of blogs will publish one post per day at best, and may struggle with one per week. If money is no object, you can afford to hire several writers, paying each of them to produce good quality SEO articles every day. If you hire several writers and they all work to this level, then your site could publish half a dozen quality articles a day. Not only that, but many writers who make it to the highest level will already have a strong fan base and a strong internet presence. So, if you give them all a bio, making sure your site pops up when someone Googles them, and an incentive to promote their pieces through social media, you can benefit from additional direct traffic. Social media. Facebook is brilliant if you have a little money. You can set up something known as a Facebook Pixel, which combines elements of targeted advertising with analytics. You can then create campaigns to drive likes to your Facebook page, campaigns to drive readers to individual articles, and campaigns to drive traffic to your website. The Pixel will monitor all of this and will help you to keep an eye on that traffic, to send repeat adverts their way and, eventually, to convert them into leads, whether in the form of paying customers for your product or service, or long-term website visitors who bookmark your site. There is also a paid ad option on Twitter which works in a similar way, but is a little less effective in terms of spend versus results. Guest posts. Let's be honest, it takes a lot of time and effort to get guest posts, and if the only thing you have to offer the sites is free content, then you can pretty much rule out the biggest sites. However, if you have a little money to throw around, your site can receive instant follow links on the internet's biggest URLs, from Forbes to the HuffPost. You can use middlemen to do this, or you can save a few bucks by going direct to the contributors. Of course, for this to work, you have to limit yourself to blogs and to sites that allow follow contributions, which rules out BuzzFeed. But there are many big sites that fit the bill. PR campaigns. So, what if you want to get on sites that don't allow contributions? Well, There is a way. If you sign up with a PR firm, they will be able to make the connections. They will create a story, whether it's a truthful press release or a fabricated PR stunt, and they will pitch it to the biggest newspapers, tabloids and news sites. You would be surprised at how many newspaper stories are PR, the result of someone throwing money around and getting exactly what they paid for. These stories are great for hard-to-acquire backlinks, but they can also generate huge exposure. As an example, a close friend of How to Start a Blog recently got a story onto a major online tabloid. The story was a seasonally relevant article that mentioned his website and secured him a backlink. But 150 million people visit that website every month, and over 1 million read that article and saw his site/blog. He paid good money for it, but he got a return that helped his blog in terms of SEO, exposure and visitors, not to mention the knockout effects from aggregate sites republishing that story and from bloggers blogging about it. Prominent listings. How many times have you seen a list of the best blogs on a certain topic and thought to yourself, what was their criteria for choosing those blogs? Well, in some cases, it has nothing to do with quality or popularity and everything to do with how much money they have. That's not always the case, but there is usually some financial incentive hiding behind even the most innocent of lists. And then you have the big ad campaigns that feature on news sites. Take BuzzFeed, for instance. They work with many big companies and create a wealth of content for each campaign. If you have ever seen the BuzzFeed posts that end with an ad or are based around a certain product, then you have seen these yourself. These provide great exposure for blogs and websites, but you'll also pay a lot for it. We tried to contact BuzzFeed to inquire about this and they told us that a customer needed a budget of at least $100,000 before they could look at creating a campaign. It's worth noting that there are ways to get endless content even if you don't have a budget. For instance, you can use MediaWiki as a base for your site. To begin with, you can put a lock on all content and make sure that only you and your writers can create and edit. But as your website grows, you can open it up to anyone who has some free time, effectively creating your own Wikipedia. Forums work in much the same way, as do community sites that ask members to provide opinion pieces, fanfiction and other content. But in all cases, you need a popular site, so it's a catch-22,